morning, guys, and welcome back to another vlog. I don't even know why I'm whispering, actually. I was like, oh, I'm whispering because it's super early, but I'm the only one home in my house, so that was pointless. Today I've got a really exciting day because I'm going to be doing a full mid-year review and planning session. So it's now the beginning of July, and in my last vlog I did say that I was going to talk a little bit more about limiting beliefs, but also take you through a full mid-year review planning session. But I also have a really exciting project meeting with my OBM, my online business manager, and then I was gonna say a video to film, but that's what I'm doing right now. Okay, I clearly just woke up. But basically right now I am just getting ready to go to Muay Thai. I'm just getting in my gym gear, so I'm gonna go do that. And then I haven't done my normal morning routine in terms of my gratitude and visualization, because as a part of this mastermind that I'm doing, there is this weekly reprogramming routine. However, I didn't have enough time to do it before Muay Thai, so I'm going to do it after. I've just got home from my Muay Thai PT, feeling so good, really sore, but really good. I'm just making some breakfast now, and I realized I'm not actually gonna have time to do my weekly programming before my call with my new OBM. So basically what's on the agenda for today is I'm gonna have a call with my OBM, so I'll have breakfast, get ready, have a call with my OBM about one of the funnels that I'm creating for my business. Then I'm gonna do this weekly reprogramming. Then I'm gonna film the rest of this video as I take you through my mid-year planning session. Then I have something tonight, but I can't remember what it is. I will need to check my calendar.
Also, as you're watching, if you hear something that really resonates with you, please leave it down in the comments below and put quotes around it so other people can be inspired by it as well. And if you leave it within the first couple hours of this video going live, you have a chance to win one of 2 daily prizes.
So it's just before 10 a.m. and now I'm officially starting work for the day. My OBM has basically sent me through an agenda for what we're going to be speaking about in today's session. So I'm just gonna go through that and just make sure I've got all of the things that I need down and ready for our call in 10 minutes. Basically what we're talking about on this is targets for the launch in numbers, overview of the previous launch, current moving parts for In Demand, which is the course that the funnel will be built around, workflow map fun, she said, so creating a workflow for it, and then action plan and key deadlines. So yeah, essentially what I'm doing is I'm going to be creating a free training for one of my amazing programs, and then I'm going to be doing a launch around one of my absolute favorite courses that I've got available in my business, In Demand. It's like my ultimate personal branding, visibility, no one knows who you are, they can't buy from you kind of course. So yeah, so basically doing a fun launch around that. So hopefully I'm gonna ask her if she'll let me film a little bit or if she'd like to be on camera, but if not, I'll give you a little update afterwards. I was using this card deck along with this as a tripod, and I was like, oh my god, I just feel like pulling a card, and I got this one which is the 9 of Abundance, basically saying that I've worked hard and I need to buy myself some little gifts, which actually I did yesterday. I bought myself some jewelry, but then I also noticed that my emails was at 111. That is alignment. But I also now just realized that my camera's going to die, so maybe I'll check in with you after my meeting. That was such a good meeting with my OBM. Oh my gosh, it just makes me so excited for all the things that are gonna happen in my business, especially over the next 12 months, which is essentially what I kind of want to start planning now. One thing I will say is I'm just about to go through and make a list of all the things that I actually want to plan. If you're ever doing a monthly planning session or a quarterly or a half yearly planning session, don't just sit down and think, oh, let me start setting goals and stuff like that. I'm actually gonna make a list of all the individual things that I wanna have a look at, I wanna audit, and I wanna work on. Granted, a lot of this is going to be based around money. I know I started a series a couple of months ago, or no, actually probably about a year ago here on this channel, that was my millionaire vlog series. The reason why I stopped that was because I felt like I was chasing that $1 million mark because it was the pressure of that being the natural next step. And it was almost I felt like I had to do it because it was all of my, I felt peer pressured into it essentially, and it just didn't feel good, and it was making me feel quite anxious in my business, I was feeling really disconnected. However, I have really done a lot of inner work since then, and I am going to be doing a lot of this planning today based around the $1 million mark again, but from a different perspective. You know, going through my own numbers and going through my own goals and having a look at what I really want to create. I feel good about now that being the next step from an internal perspective rather than from an external pressure perspective. If I don't hit it, I absolutely don't care. Like, I really am just in that point where I think it's a good goal point to stretch myself towards. And then obviously whatever happens, I'm going to be totally super grateful for regardless, rather than feeling like, oh my God, I didn't hit it. I feel shame now. So a lot of the planning that I'm going to do today is going to be about money. But if you want to follow along, essentially, I'm just going to go make a list now, and then I'll tell you exactly what I'm going to be planning and the action steps that I'm going to take for this planning session. Okay, I have planned out basically what I'm going to do, and just to reiterate again, mine is about growth on a financial perspective, growth on a business perspective, and then on a personal perspective based on my business and my finances. So the first thing that I'm going to do is high-level goal setting. If you're going to do a mid-year review, basically what you want to do is just asking yourself, like, okay, today's the 1st of July or whatever month, part of July, and how am I going to want to feel? What am I going to want to have accomplished this time, December 31st, this time January 1st, you know, for the next period of time that I'm actually planning for? What is it that I actually am going to achieve at a top level? And I really would suggest only setting like 1 or 2 goals in this area, because you can build out the vision of like what that looks like afterward. But for me, what I'm actually going to do is try to achieve 6-figure months in my business. So my rough goal is between $65,000 and $70,000 USD per month, which for me here in Australia will be around $100,000. And I created this little thing the other day for my computer. I kind of already knew this was my goal before I started filming this video. This is what my bookkeeping software looks like. So this is kind of just like obviously what I'm working towards. I didn't want to put like exactly 100,000. I thought this felt more realistic, but like that's what I'm kind of like working towards, is really increasing my monthly income, monthly recurring revenue, all of that stuff. Now I've obviously done this already kind of, but once you do set that high level goal, like the next thing you're going to want to do is obviously create the reasons or the purpose behind it. You know, a lot of people when they're trying to achieve goals, they just try to change like their behavior or they try to change their environment, but it's like what will truly help you to change the way you're acting towards achieving that goal is having a purpose. So that's part of the high level goal setting. Then I'm going to do the actual profit planning part of it, which is going to be, you know, again, because my goal is all around profit, it's just basically planning the action steps that I'm going to take to get there. So I'll plan like what I'm going to launch, how I'm going to launch it, when I'm going to launch it, all of that stuff, which again, I already have a rough guide, but I'm going to go make sure I've got everything finalized. And then that breaks it down to a project level. So I'll know what my goal is, what I need to launch to achieve that goal, and what I need to do to essentially achieve those launches to achieve that goal. So literally I'm just coming down the step-by-step ladder. So high-level goal setting, profit planning, project planning, and then the last thing that I'm going to do is personal growth planning. That's basically asking myself, which I always do every single month, every single time I'm setting a goal, I ask myself like, who do I need to be to achieve this goal? I know that I need to work on my mindset. I need to have a really consistent morning routine. I need to follow my intuition more. I'll get to that part obviously as we're going through. I know that I have to grow personally. I'm at the, you know, 30 to 40 to 50K month mark right now in my business. It fluctuates obviously, but I need to get to the 6-figure mark, and that's going to require me to develop as a person. So whether or not it's like, I want to start my business, I want to become a YouTuber, I want to have this type of relationship, I want, whatever your goal is, like who do you need to become to achieve that is obviously the next step. myself in a limiting belief. And so I really wanted to share with you guys what was coming up for me, because obviously in my last vlog, I spoke a lot about limiting beliefs, and well, I didn't speak a lot about it, but I said I would start speaking about them more as I was setting goals. What I've had actually just realized that was coming up for me when I was doing some planning around my next launch was, because now that I obviously have like an OBM and like I've got like a team working on these projects, I found myself really wanting to set smaller goals, because I was like, oh my gosh, like how embarrassing if I set this big goal of like having maybe 100 people to enroll or something, and then my team will know I didn't achieve it. I caught myself and I was like, who cares? Like my team are all working towards building my business, and if I was doing this alone, I wouldn't care. Like I really wouldn't. And I would know that if I didn't achieve my goal this launch, that a goal is just an arbitrary number anyway, but I'm working towards something. I'm working towards growth. And so I really called the bullshit. That's one of my #1 limiting belief overcoming exercises that I use. I was aware of the limiting belief, but actually eradicating it, you have to expose it for the lie that it is. So what if I don't achieve my goal? That's what I said to myself. So what? My team's not gonna be like, oh my God, we don't wanna work with you anymore. Like the fact that there's 2 other people working on this project, they're not gonna be like, oh my God, you suck, I'm never gonna work with you. Like that's bullshit, even though that was kind of like what was coming up. If you are experiencing limiting beliefs as you go through any type of planning process, all the bullshit on them. Like limiting beliefs are just fears, and fears are not true. They're just your ego trying to keep you safe, trying to feed you any excuse under the sun to not take the steps forward that you're planning to do. And so I'm gonna set some big ass goals, and if I don't achieve them, it is not the end of the world. My business is still incredible and I'm always still growing. So I'm actually just gonna go downstairs quickly because I was just crunching numbers and it started to feel a bit yucky in terms of like, I was just planning out all of my launches and it was just getting really into like, yeah, the numbers of everything, which is obviously what you need to do. But I've started feeling like I'm getting out of like the impact, which is the thing that really drives all of my own personal motivation. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go downstairs and do a bit of an Eft tapping session. The reason why I'm going downstairs is I'm slightly embarrassed because George's office is right next door. And even though he's like super into personal development as well, there's something about EFT, I just like to be in total privacy. But then I'm also gonna do a bit of a visualization of all of the students, all of the events that I'm gonna eventually one day hold, like my membership growing, and just like really start to try to visualize like faces and people and hugs and energy and all of that stuff, because like the number stuff is just feeling a little numbery. I have to go downstairs to do my EFT tapping because I'm embarrassed to do it in front of you.
I'm doing it in front of me though, are you?
Yeah, but you'll hear it through the wall. You'll hear me being like, but you've got to go, as you do that, you've got to be like, even though I feel like I'm not gonna make any money and my business is gonna fail, I love, honor, and respect myself. Even though I feel like I'm really stressed right now, I love, honor, and respect myself. Yeah, that's basically it. So anyway, that's George's tapping that he's done for the day. I'm gonna go downstairs. Wow, that's really bright. I'm going to go downstairs and actually do a proper tapping session right now, and I hope nobody who's a real tapping fanatic was offended by George's head smacking. I swear I nearly cried. Oh, I didn't actually cry this time, but I've made myself cry many a times when I have done meditations or visualizations or gratitude lists based around people. And in this time in particular, I tried to really merge. I was thinking about my New York event last year and like meeting some of my Simply Business students and meeting some of my future Simply Business students, like people who joined after that event. And then just, oh my gosh, like hugging people and just like bringing people together and the events that I was supposed to do and all that stuff. Like, I just want to meet you guys in person basically and just hug you and like give you all the kisses. So like that's definitely made me feel a lot better about group program planning and, you know, course planning, like visualizing people's lives changing and visualizing the connection that I can have with this community, rather than just like I was freaking calculating and then like, you know, currency converting and doing all that stuff, and it was just making me feel like, oh, this is all just like number stuff. Oh my god, but now I definitely feel way more. There's people like behind every view on this YouTube channel, behind every person who buys a course from me, like every single client, even though I may never meet them in person, they're real people and I'm making a real positive impact on their lives, and we have a real deep connection. So I feel better to now go back and crunch more numbers, but first I'm going to make a chai. Although now I feel really bad because Harvey's just like come down here. He loves laying on the bed, but he'll obviously only ever lay like where people are. I've been singing songs to him lately and I swear to God it's made him love me more. Or maybe he loves me more because my energy's been so high vibe because I've been doing all this personal development work. I'm not sure. I've been singing songs to him and he literally loves it. Harvey, do you want me to sing a song? The cat goes meow meow. The horse goes neigh. It's so funny because I asked myself the question, basically, what do I need to do to essentially double/triple my income? And basically whenever I ask myself a question, this is how I really get my intuition to like guide me to the answers that I'm seeking. I just put some music on, I ask the question, and I just sit there and I just wait until something comes up, and then I just start journaling down things. And this is what I do when I'm trying to think of like course names, courses, like anything. I just wait for the answer to come. But the funny thing is, like, I'm journaling all of this stuff, like unstoppable content creator, magnetic love, happiness, in demand, like all of these things. And it's so funny because I was like, this looks really familiar. And I was like, holy crap, the stuff that's coming out from me asking the question, what do I need to do to double or triple my income, is literally the same stuff that came out when I was planning my in-demand course. So it's like, yes, I might be at another level in terms of income and in terms of audience growth to who that course is targeted towards, but basically all the stuff like really becoming a magnetic personal brand, being visible, being out there, using your energy, being a master, like all of that stuff just came to me for helping me to get to the next level. And yet that's something that I already teach in one of my programs, which for me is a very like clear reiteration that what I teach is of high value, but also it just makes me really want to tell you guys that you should definitely check out In Demand, because we could go on this journey together, because what's in that program is essentially my way forward. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a little bit of a mood board. So I'm actually up to the 4th piece, which is personal growth. For designing who I need to become, I obviously, you know, I've got the roadmap, which is, like I said, that kind of the steps that I teach in my In Demand program. But to really visualize this, I'm going to do a little mood board. So I'm just going to go on Pinterest, get a bunch of images that represent who I need to be for that next level version of me, and then put it together in a little mood board thing. This is what I came up with for the mood board that I was speaking about. I know it doesn't look like it has anything to do with launching programs or business projects, but something that's really come up for me in my new mastermind and a lot of my recent journaling is this idea that like the more fun that I'm having, the more money my business makes, the more it grows, the more that it expands. I get the most messages from you guys when I'm just having a good time. You know, when I'm dancing on my stories, or when I'm out doing motocross, or like when I'm just at the park, or like honestly just loving my life, which I forget to show a lot of the times. And yet, you know, when I'm showing up and teaching a lot of the time, it actually doesn't get the same response as it does when I'm really just living. And so I think a big part of what is really truly going to help me grow my channel and obviously my income in my business and all of that is by truly setting an example of what this simple business life looks like. I am able to have so much fun because I do have so much free time. I mean, in between this, I watched like honestly obviously like 30 or 40 minutes of Tomorrowland because I was missing people. I just watched a bunch of sets from the Tomorrowland festival because I just wanted to see people in a big crowd. I do have a lot of time. Like, I've built this business and I know a lot of people want that sense of freedom. They want that sense of fun, that joy. And it's not to say I don't have bad days, absolutely. But I want to be an example that is literally my legacy, to show people that you can still be ultra successful without selling your soul to the hustle. So yeah, that is my plan. So that's basically my day. That's kind of like my mid-year review planning session. I started with a big goal, which was a financial goal. I worked back to all the individual things I was going to launch, and then I worked back to the projects, which I didn't do much of because my OBM will help me more with that. And then I just really asked myself, like, who do I need to be to get to this? And what came out for me was like, I need to be someone who is just loving the fuck out of their life and just showing everyone what's possible when you work on your mindset and you follow your goals and dreams. I know that sounds corny, but really that's what I've done, and that's what I teach in everything that I do. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about this and limiting beliefs in the next, because I know I didn't get into it much today and you guys have been asking a lot of questions. So in the next vlog, I'll really go through all of my limiting beliefs and kind of how I ended up in tears last time, but also how to really figure out what your kind of like mission to success is. Mine is fun. The more fun I have, the more money I make. That's my new belief that I'm cementing into myself. So we'll talk a little bit more about that kind of mindset stuff. Obviously, I can't leave the house. I'm still in lockdown, so a lot of my vlogs will be in this office. I hope you don't mind. It is a limiting belief of mine that you guys are gonna think they're boring if I'm constantly in the same space, but I hope you enjoyed this one. I'm gonna go edit it now and get it up for you, and I will see you in the next vlog. Love you all, bye.